Little Red Riding Hood is a dark, classic fairy tale with some not-so-happily ever afters. But how would Little Red fare differently if her grandmother was not frail, bedridden, easy pickings for the infamous wolf? What if she was tough, buff, and a witch to boot? How differently would this classic fairy tale play out? Well, wonder no more, because that's precisely what this twisted tale is all about. So, friends and fiends, summon your familiars, light your fairy lights, conjure a mug of your favorite tea, and follow me. You know the tale of poor Little Red Riding Hood that the wolf deceived and devoured with her cake, her little butter can, and her grandmother. Well, the true story happened quite differently as we know now. And first of all, the little girl was called and is still called Little Golden Hood. Secondly, it was not she, nor the good granddam, but the wicked wolf who was, in the end, caught and devoured. Only listen. The story begins something like the tale. There was once a little peasant girl, pretty and nice as a star in its season. Her real name was Blanchette, but she was more often called Little Golden Hood, on account of a wonderful little cloak with a hood, gold and fire-colored, which she always had on. This little hood was given her by her grandmother, who was so old that she did not know her age. It ought to bring her good luck, for it was made out of a ray of sunshine, she said. And as the good old woman was considered something of a witch, everyone thought the little hood rather bewitched too. And so it was, as you will see. One day the mother said to the child, "Let us see, my little golden hood, if you know how to find your way by yourself. You shall take this good piece of cake to your grandmother's for a Sunday treat tomorrow. You will ask her how she is and come back at once, without stopping to chatter on the way with people you don't know. Do you quite understand?" "I quite understand," replied Blanchette, and off she went with the cake, quite proud of her errand. But the grandmother lived in another village, and there was a big wood to cross before getting there. At the turn of the road under the trees, suddenly, who goes there? Friend Wolf. He had seen the child start alone, and the villain was waiting to devour her, when at the same moment he perceived some woodcutters who might observe him, and he changed his mind. Instead of falling upon Blanchette, he came up frisking to her like a good dog. "'Tis you, my nice little Golden Hood," he said. So the little girl stops to talk with the wolf, who, for all that, she did not know in the least. "You know me then," she said. "What is your name?" "My name is Friend Wolf. And where are you going thus, my pretty one, with your little basket on your arm?" "I am going to my grandmother to take her a good piece of cake for her Sunday treat tomorrow." "And where does she live, your grandmother?" "She lives on the other side of the wood in the first house in the village near the windmill, you know." "Ah, yes, I know now," said the wolf. "Well, that's just where I'm going. I shall get there before you, no doubt, with your little bits of legs, and I'll tell her you're coming to see her. Then she'll wait for you." Thereupon the wolf cuts across the wood and within 5 minutes arrives at the grandmother's house. He knocks at the door. Tock, tock. No answer. He knocks louder. Nobody. Then he stands up on end, puts his 2 forepaws on the latch, and the door opens. Not a soul in the house. The old woman had risen early to sell herbs in the town, and she had gone off in such haste that she had left her bed unmade, with her great nightcap on the pillow. "Good," said the wolf to himself. "I know what I'll do." He shuts the door, pulls on the grandmother's nightcap down to his eyes. Then he lies down all his length in the bed and draws the curtains. In the meantime, the good Blanchette went quietly on her way, as little girls do, amusing herself here and there by picking daisies, watching the little birds making their nests, and running after the butterflies which fluttered in the sunshine. At last she arrives at the door. Knock, knock. "Who is there?" says the wolf, softening his rough voice as best he can. "It's me, Granny, your little Golden Hood. I'm bringing you a piece of cake for your Sunday treat tomorrow." Press your finger on the latch, and the door opens. "Why, you've got a cold, Granny," she said, coming in. "Ahem, a little, replies the wolf, pretending to cough. "Shut the door well, my little lamb. Put your basket on the table and then take off your frock and come and lie down beside me. You shall rest a little." The good child undresses, but observe this. She kept her little hood upon her head. When she saw what a figure Granny cut in bed, the poor little thing was much surprised. "Oh," cries she, "how like you are to friend Wolf, grandmother." "That's on account of my nightcap, child," replies the wolf. "Oh, what hairy arms you've got, grandmother." "All the better to hug you, my child." "Oh, what a big tongue you've got, grandmother." "All the better for answering, child." "Oh, what a mouthful of great white teeth you have, grandmother." "That's for crunching little children with." And the wolf opened his jaws wide to swallow Blanchette, but she put her head down crying, "Mama, Mama!" And the wolf cut only her little hood. Thereupon, oh dear, he draws back, crying and shaking his jaws as if he had swallowed red-hot coals. It was the little fire-colored hood that had burnt his tongue right down his throat. A ray of sunshine is not to be trifled with. The little hood, you see, was one of those magic caps that they used to have in former times, in the stories, for making one invisible or invulnerable. So, there was the wolf, with his throat burned, jumping off the bed and trying to find the door, howling and howling as if all the dogs in the country were at his heels. Just at that moment, Grandmother arrives, returning from the town with her long sack empty on her shoulder. "Ah, brigand," she cries, "wait a bit." Quickly, she opens her sack wide across the door, and the maddened wolf springs in head downwards. It is he now that is caught, swallowed like a letter in the post. For the brave old dame shuts her sack so, and she runs and empties it in the well, where the vagabond, still howling, tumbles in and is drowned. "Ah, scoundrel, you thought you would crunch my little grandchild? Well, tomorrow we will make a muff of your skin, and you yourself shall be crunched, for we will give your carcass to the dogs." Thereupon, the grandmother hastened to dress poor Blanchette, who was still trembling with fear in the bed. "Well," she said to her, "without my little hood, where would you be now, darling?" And to restore heart and legs to the child, she made her eat a good piece of her cake and drink a good draught of wine, after which she took her by the hand and led her back to the house. And then who was it who scolded her when she knew all that had happened? It was the mother. But Blanchette promised over and over again that she would never more stop to listen to a wolf, so that at last the mother forgave her. And Blanchette, the little golden hood, kept her word. And in fine weather, she may still be seen in the fields with her pretty little hood, the color of the sun. But to see her, you must rise early. I have to say, I adore the sassy witch granny, and how forward-thinking she was with that enchanted cap. But now I want to think back. You may not know this, but I started this channel 5 years ago, in 2020, at the start of the global health event. I was scared and stressed and overwhelmed, so I turned to stories. I knew I wasn't alone in feeling this way, so I decided to share these stories, to connect with you or soothe any worries and anxieties I could, as simply as I could. Stories and fantasies are powerful after all. They are weird, frightening, and can go deeper into the darkest human depravity than we dare to dream. But somehow, through magic, intelligence, wit, or blind trust in random animals, they end better than they started, most of the time. This channel has been a sandbox to cast magic spells to put you to sleep, cosplay creepy floating hands of the other mother, or other unsettling characters to soothe you. Somehow it works. It's been cozy crafting and chatting, and, of course, stories upon stories upon stories. But most of all, it's been a quiet place to unplug from and recharge for the world at large. And because this is a small, quiet corner of the internet, it's all been a labor of love. But lately, with news and changes and fresh fears streaming in from everywhere all the time, I've been feeling the need to tell more stories, which is why I'm so grateful for support to do just that. Like this wild one where a dreadful fairy prophecy demands a king and queen choose which of their 3 children to let live, which they cleverly avoid with a tower and a healthy family lifestyle. What? The plan goes awry, The princess falls in love with the first thing she sees, but her brothers are incredibly supportive and basically traverse heaven and earth for her happiness. But it's not enough. Good thing there's a very good boy with excellent culinary tastes. I had a wonderful time discovering it, and I know you will too. It's over 30 minutes of chaotic calm story, which is ideal for zoning out with or falling asleep to. You can watch this story ad-free right now on Nebula first, before it's out on YouTube. I'll be releasing all of my stories early on Nebula first, and you can find all of my past stories and ASMR videos ad-free on Nebula as well. My favorite and most used Nebula feature is actually the app, where you can download and play all of the stories and videos on the go. Nebula is a collection of conscientious creators, each with their own niche and speciality. It's easy to get lost down a rabbit hole you didn't know existed. Watching on Nebula directly supports the creator, and watching a bit late videos on Nebula helps me to make more videos. To get early access on Nebula first and access all of my videos without ads, please check out my links go.nebula.tv/abitlate. You can get 40% off Nebula, or $36 per year, or $3 per month. And you can go watch this wild new story right now. Nebula has absolutely made a difference in me making these videos, and by signing up using my links, it makes it more possible. I hope these videos have given you comfort or have helped you in some way. Making them has helped me. I'm thankful to be able to make more with Nebula, and thank you for checking us out. I do hope you enjoyed the telling of this twisted tale, the true history of Little Golden Hood. But for now, off to sleep and dream what you will, or stay a while and enjoy another tale. Whichever you choose, I'll speak to you again, and until then, stay spooky, my friends. Good night.